Imagine a single decision with the power to transform one of Europe's greatest football clubs, or to throw it into chaos. As Bayern Munich faces an uncertain summer, their next superstar may be neither homegrown nor German. Instead, all eyes are on Rafael Leao, AC Milan's electrifying winger, and the jaw-dropping $150 million price tag that comes with him. What does this mean for Bayern, for Milan, and for the ever-evolving chess game of global football transfers? Let's unravel the inside story of a high-stakes transfer saga that could redefine power in European football. It's the end of an era in Munich. Thomas Müller, the talisman who defined Bayern for over a decade, has said his goodbyes. Leroy Sane's future is hanging by a thread, as contract talks stall and rumors swirl of a move abroad. Kingsley Coman, once a Champions League hero, is weighing his next step, his eyes squinting at the Saudi sun. Inside the Allianz Arena, the club's hierarchy faces a rare moment of vulnerability. For the first time in years, the left wing, a historic source of Bayern's attacking firepower, appears alarmingly vacant. The Bundesliga is no longer a tame playground for Bayern. Rivals like Bayer Leverkusen and Borussia Dortmund have been sharpening their squads, seizing on any perceived weaknesses in Munich's ranks. And now, perhaps their greatest threat is coming not from domestic competition, but from abroad. Liverpool, under new management and flush with ambition, have snatched away Florian Wirtz, the German prodigy Bayern had quietly earmarked as the next leader of their attack. This was more than just a missed signing. Wirtz was supposed to be the next big thing, young, technical, fearless. Behind the scenes, Bayern's sporting director Max Eberl and his team pursued negotiations with relentless intent, testing Liverpool's resolve. But, as Christian Falk broke it, Wirtz's heart was set on Anfield. The talks collapsed. Bayern's transfer committee, usually so serene and all-powerful, suddenly found itself in crisis mode. Fans and pundits alike started to ask uncomfortable questions. Had Bayern lost their edge in the transfer market? Why were promising stars choosing other projects? The pressure on Eberl, already under the microscope after a bumpy season, intensified. "It's a defining summer for Bayern," declared Lothar Matthäus on Sky Germany, voice heavy with urgency. "If they don't act, other clubs will leave them behind." With the Wirtz option evaporating, Bayern's gaze shifted. The mission: find a left winger who could not just fill the gap, but light up the Allianz under the floodlights. Their shortlist was ambitious, even audacious. Kaoru Mitoma from Brighton, nimble, energetic, and a pressing machine, emerged as an early favorite. Yet insiders whispered that the club wanted more than reliability. They craved stardust. And so, as Sky Sport Germany's Florian Plettenberg reported, attention turned to Rafael Leao. Leao is not just another winger. At 25, he's already a sensation in Serie A, a player who, with a flick of his boot or a burst of pace, can turn a game upside down. His dribbling success rate of nearly 55% puts him in the top echelon of Europe's attacking talent. Over the past season, he contributed to 21 goals for AC Milan, dazzling crowds with runs that seemed to break the laws of physics. As Paolo Maldini, Milan's legendary defender-turned-director, once said, "Leao can become one of the world's best, but he needs consistency." But talent never comes cheap. Leao's contract, recently extended, contains a release clause reportedly close to $150 million, a record-shattering figure even by today's standards. For Bayern, a club with a famously strict wage structure and a distaste for flashy overspending, this is uncharted territory. Yet the situation at Milan offers a potential opening. Struggling with financial fair play pressures and eager to balance their books, the Rossoneri may be forced to cash in on their crown jewel. The plot thickens with the presence of Jorge Mendes, Leao's Portuguese super agent. Mendes is a kingmaker in European football, a dealmaker whose contacts open doors others can't even knock on. Rumor has it that Mendes and Max Eberl have already spoken, exploring the possibilities, the numbers, the complications. Could Mendes's involvement even spark a mini Portuguese revolution in Munich? It's a tantalizing thought, and not lost on the German press. There's more at stake here than just a player. For Bayern, Leao represents a crossroads. Should they attempt a blockbuster move, shattering their own transfer record and reshaping wage hierarchies? Or play it safe and risk falling behind in the arms race of elite European football? The club's famous stinginess is both a virtue and a vulnerability. While Bayern have outpaced rivals through clever planning and financial prudence, the market is shifting. As one Bavarian Football Works analyst put it, Bayern's loss on Wirtz stings, but a lethal winger might be just the ticket. Consider the numbers. Bayern's wage cap for wingers has historically hovered well below the sums that Leao and Mendes expect. Even if Milan accepted a transfer fee below the release clause, negotiations around salary could become a saga all on their own. Moreover, Leao's personal ambitions and the siren calls from the Premier League or even La Liga add another layer of unpredictability. Yet the potential upside is enormous. With Leao, Bayern would acquire raw pace, creativity, and the sort of individual brilliance capable of swinging Champions League knockout ties. His signature would send a thunderous message. Bayern still pulls the biggest names, Bayern still sets the agenda. Julian Nagelsmann, the German coach who rates Leao highly, reportedly sees him as a pivotal figure not just for club, but also for the national squad, a hybrid star who could lift both to greater heights. On the tactical front, questions abound. Leao thrives in open spaces and in counter-attacking setups. Bayern for years have relied on structured positional play, orchestrated pressing, and carefully choreographed build-up. Integrating a maverick talent like Leao would challenge the coaching staff. Would Bayern adapt their formula, or would Leao be molded to fit their system? Meanwhile, other suitors circle. Liverpool, flush from the Wirtz coup, lurk as potential rivals. Milan, for their part, are not idly waiting. They've begun scouring the market for alternatives, from PSV's Noah Lang to South American emerging talents. Every day that passes, the stakes rise. The tension is palpable in Munich's boardrooms. Insiders report fierce debates about financial risk, dressing room harmony, and the dangers of short-term thinking. But the allure of Leao, his swagger, his unpredictability, his ability to change the course of a season, is undeniable. As one Bengali football analyst observed, Leao's individual brilliance could elevate Bayern's attack, but his integration into a structured system is key. Yet the clock is ticking. Other transfer targets are being snapped up. Squad planning for preseason won't wait. Max Eberl, facing mounting public scrutiny, knows that his legacy could hinge on the outcome of this saga. If he delivers Leao, he's a hero. If not, the questions will only grow louder. Amid this storm, a critical dilemma remains. Is the risk worth it? Would Bayern's gamble on Leao pay off or backfire, disrupting team chemistry and stretching the club's finances to breaking point? On the other side of the Alps, AC Milan face questions just as daunting. Should they sacrifice their star for solvency, and if so, at what cost to their ambitions? As we stand at this crossroads, the football world waits. Can Bayern Munich forge a deal that balances ambition and prudence? Will Rafael Leao become the new face of German football, or the most expensive cautionary tale in club history? The answer to that question may hinge on one more wild card. Just how far is Bayern willing to bend its rules and rewrite its future? The next moves in Munich and Milan will not only shape these clubs for years to come, they could shake the entire landscape of European football. But first, a dramatic question remains. Will Bayern and Leao find common ground, or will this high-stakes pursuit collapse under the weight of expectation and financial risk? After weeks of tense negotiations, Bayern Munich's pursuit of Rafael Leao stands at a crossroads. Behind closed doors, board members debate whether this bold move will define a new era, or if it could become the club's most dangerous gamble in years. Let's dive into the possible futures this saga could shape, both for Bayern and for European football as a whole. If Bayern and AC Milan reach an agreement, the reverberations will be felt instantly. Rafael Leao would arrive in Munich as the club's marquee signing, a player who cost upwards of 100 million euros, with expectations heavier than the Bavarian snow. The Allianz Arena faithful would welcome him with cautious optimism. After all, this is a fan base that has seen global superstars come and go, but rarely one with Leao's unique profile. On the pitch, Leao's arrival would add a new dimension to Bayern's attack. His combination of raw pace, 1v1 dribbling, and eye for goal is exactly what Bayern have missed since the departures of legendary wingers like Arjen Robben and Frank Ribéry. Leao's 21 goal contributions for AC Milan last season showcase his ability to shape decisive moments, even against Europe's tightest defenses. But success is not guaranteed. Integrating a superstar is never as simple as it seems. Leao's individual brilliance, his ability to win a match with a single run, could clash with Bayern's traditionally disciplined, structured approach. As Bengali football analyst Bislashak puts it, Leao's genius can elevate any team, but if you ask him to play too rigidly, you risk losing his magic. Tactically, there are pressing questions. Can Leao adapt to Bayern's high-pressing game, or would manager Vincent Kompany need to tweak his system to accommodate the new arrival? Some insiders believe that Leao might need time to track back as relentlessly as Leroy Sané or Kingsley Coman. His dribbling and attacking instincts are elite, but his defensive work rate could become a sticking point in big Champions League nights. And then, there's the locker room dynamic. Bringing in a player who could become the squad's highest-paid star may upset the delicate salary structure that Bayern have meticulously maintained. Dressing room leaders may ask, is one player really worth breaking with tradition? Or, as Lothar Matthäus put it on Sky Germany, Bayern have always believed the team is the star. If you disrupt that, you need results, fast. The stakes are enormous. If Leao settles quickly, Bayern could once again become a Champions League juggernaut, regaining the fear factor that has slipped in recent seasons. His performances could unlock the full potential of young talents like Jamal Musiala and Mathys Tel, creating a forward line as dazzling as any in Europe. But the risks. If Leao fails to shine or the team's chemistry suffers, Bayern could find themselves outpaced by rivals like Leverkusen, Dortmund, or even ambitious outsiders like RB Leipzig. Financially, a flop could haunt the club for years, especially if Leao demands a wage above Bayern's historical limits and the team struggles to offload declining stars. Meanwhile, AC Milan faces their own crossroads. Selling Leao would be a financial windfall, and perhaps a necessity, given their recent struggles to balance the books. But it also means waving goodbye to the club's most electric talent and facing the fury of fans already anxious about Serie A's diminished global profile. In anticipation, Milan's scouts are already busy. Interviews with sources close to the club confirm that the likes of Noah Lang, PSV's mercurial winger, and Luis Sinisterra, currently on loan at Bournemouth, are being closely tracked. Paolo Maldini, Milan's iconic former director, offers a word of warning. Leao can become one of the world's best, but finding someone with his gifts is not simply a matter of money. It means changing how you play, maybe how you dream. For the Bundesliga as a whole, Bayern's boldness is a gauntlet thrown down. Should Leao thrive, other German clubs may be emboldened to chase headline signings, destabilizing the league's traditional financial discipline. Yet there's also a risk. If Bayern's experiment goes wrong, it may reinforce the belief that the Bundesliga's collective ethos trumps superstar allure every time. And there's another layer, the influence of Jorge Mendes. The Portuguese super agent is not just brokering Leao's move, he's quietly reshaping the transfer balance in Germany. Sources suggest Mendes is already floating the names of other Portuguese talents to Max Eberl, hoping to establish a Lusophone core at Bayern. Could we witness the start of a Portuguese dynasty in Munich, akin to what Mendes achieved at Wolves in England? At this point, nothing is settled. Rival clubs, alerted by Bayern's moves, are circling. PSG have been linked to Leao in the past and could hijack the deal at the last moment. Premier League giants, flush with TV money, could use Leao's release clause as a bargaining chip, with whispers around Chelsea and Manchester United eager to pounce if negotiations stall. But beyond the soap opera of the transfer market, there are real lessons here for any football fan, manager, or even business leader. First, the Leao saga shows that modern football is as much about relationships as it is about money. Bayern's hopes rest not simply on a giant offer, but on the trust between Max Eberl and Jorge Mendes. In an era of mega agents and global scouting, personal connections can tip the scale where cash alone cannot. This is something we can all take to heart. In any endeavor, building relationships often opens doors that hard negotiation cannot. Second, Leao's potential move forces Bayern, and us, to weigh the importance of tradition against the need to evolve. For years, Bayern's strength has been a salary cap and a team-centric culture. But today's football landscape is shifting. Bayern's rivals are spending bigger, moving faster, adopting new models. The club's management must now decide, do you double down on the values that brought past glory, or risk evolution to stay ahead? The answer is rarely simple. Both in football and in life, it often means a leap of faith, one that can either cement your legacy or shatter it. Third, the saga is a masterclass in strategic risk. Bayern's calculation mirrors something every organization faces. When do you make a bold move, and when do you settle for the safe option? Do you invest heavily in a game-changing talent, knowing the pressure will be immense? Or do you prioritize balance, even if it means missing out on brilliance? Clubs like AC Milan and Bayern are playing high-stakes chess, with every decision echoing far beyond the next match. What does this mean for you as a fan, a player, or even someone who just loves the drama of sport? It's a reminder to watch beyond the headlines. When your club moves for a star signing, ask, what's the strategy? How does this player fit the culture? What are the risks if it goes wrong? And for aspiring professionals, on or off the pitch, the story of Leao's rise is equally instructive. Here's a player who left sporting in chaos, rebuilt himself in Lille, and exploded into stardom at Milan. His success isn't just about talent, it's about adaptation, resilience, and grabbing his moment when clubs doubted him most. That's a lesson that transcends football. Stay ready and seize your opportunity when it comes. So, will Bayern Munich finally smash their transfer record and welcome Rafael Leao? Will they outmaneuver the European elite and perhaps break with their own history to usher in a new era? If recent signals are to be believed, the board is quietly preparing for a paradigm shift. Internal sources hint that Max Eberl has proposed a creative package to Milan, front-loaded cash, plus achievable bonuses based on Champions League performance. The plan? To spread the financial risk, in hopes of making the deal sustainable in the long term. And there's a secret twist. Bayern's analytics department has been running simulations not just on Leao's stats, but on squad harmony and commercial impact. Their conclusion? If Leao adapts, he could boost not only performances on the field, but also global shirt sales and sponsor interest, helping Bayern close the commercial gap with English and Spanish giants. Ultimately, Bayern's gamble on Leao is about ambition. If it pays off, the club sends a clear message to Europe. Tradition and evolution can coexist. If it fails, it will be a cautionary tale for every boardroom, a reminder that even the biggest clubs must tread carefully when rewriting their DNA. For now, fans can only wait and dream. Will Leao be unveiled under the Allianz Arena lights, his name joining legends of old? Or will this pursuit become a chapter of what might have been, as Bayern regroup and chase a different vision? Whatever happens, one thing is certain. Football's future is being written in these high-stakes transfer battles, where risk, reward, and identity are all on the line. So, what's your take? Would you go all in for Leao if you ran Bayern? Or does tradition matter more than chasing the next superstar? Tell us your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the stories shaping the game. And here's our secret fact. While most fans focus on Leao's on-pitch fireworks, few realize that his off-field brand already ranks among the top 10 most followed footballers under 25 in Europe. For Bayern, signing Leao could be about much more than